And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Yes, we are back here going over whatever's going on in crypto that's interesting. Tell you that there's a lot of moving and grooving going on. Now, some's going to be good, some's going to be bad. You have to be prepared for that. As crypto is taking off, there's going to be all the scary stories coming out. That's just how this goes. You have to expect good with bad. Friction is where the money's made in the beginning. So friction is when the old system is kind of collapsing. Like we all know about the black swan, we hope, right? You know about that. You know what the black swan is, right? The old traditional financial system has to crash and burn. That's going to be a bad thing. There's going to be pain. Before the crypto, that's where the black swan comes in, right? Black swan event, crypto. I'm talking to brand new people. There will be bad stuff happens. A lot of bad stuff happens before it goes good. Crypto is intended to save us when the whole financial system crashes and burns, and then crypto takes off. That's how this goes. We've all been waiting for this. All these Ripple partners, they're going to take off first. That's what we've seen. All the information I've shown you. These Ripple partners started back in 2014, 15. They're completely hooked up. I don't have a crystal ball. I got Zoltar here, and that totally helps. Having a toy give us our future. There's things that we don't know is going to happen. There's a black swan coming. A lot of the brand new people, they just don't know. Yeah. Somebody that says, don't look down, says Ripple announces BNY partnership. Yeah, we're going over that. This is what I'm saying. Look, all this bad stuff has to happen while the good stuff is taking over, okay? So you're going to see all the scary stuff. I think maybe at one point, maybe the American economy collapses temporarily or gets severely hurt. Expect that, because that's where this crypto comes in to rescue the country, right? I'm trying to get all of us to see. The brand new people have no idea what's going on. They're just like, I invested in crypto yesterday. I'm supposed to be rich today. I'm like, wow. Okay. Look, something's going to happen. Something is going to happen very negative to all the global economies, okay? We've been talking about this for 5 years on the show. When, you're starting to see things in the economy starting to fall apart, okay? That's, somebody's like, Crypto Hulk, when's all this going to happen? Come on. Look, I don't have the crystal ball. Stop asking those stupid questions, all right? What we have to look at is what telltale signs do you see every day? Look around. What do you see? Now, the more scary stuff that you see that keeps popping up, that's how you know it's coming. All right? The economy has to crash. World governments have to crash. Now, I'm not going to say everything is destroyed and stuff. No. There's got to be enough pain to bring on the crypto. Okay? Understand this. It's going to be scary. There's got to be pain. There's got to be enough pain to give up the old system and switch to the new, okay? You've got to have enough pain for everybody to say, yeah, let's just use the new system. Fuck it. Let's all just go on a system, and then the government can control us and track us. It's got to come to that. I want you all mentally prepared this isn't just we're going to watch Crypto Hulk show and then every day, one day we're going to be rich and stuff. That's not what the fuck's going on. You got the wrong show. There's going to be bad shit that's going to go down globally to move us into the new crypto space. It's how this works. You need to understand all this and prepare. Gold, silver. That's going to back. All these gold and silver prices are going to skyrocket. That's what's going to back crypto with other things. All these things are going to back crypto. Be prepared for bad shit to happen. You just have to look. It's just, you have to crash the old system. That's where the dragon, remember the dragon phoenix rising out of the ashes? You know what that means? All shit burned down. That's how the dragon rises out of the, what are the ashes, Crypto Hulk? The whole financial system just being destroyed. Oh, yeah. Expect bad shit to happen. I keep saying that, okay? This global economy, that's how this goes. Crypto, the old economy has to crash so we go on to this new economy. Things are going to get very bad, I think, for a very short term. They've got to break. Team JPX is like, yeah, they got to completely break it to build it back up. It's just, that's how it is. We all of us who have been here for 5 years or more, we all are waiting for the Black Swan. I think we're kind of in a pre-Black Swan moment. But when you start seeing countries, central banks collapse or whatever it might be, then it's like, oh God, it's coming. That's how you know. I just want you mentally ready. I don't need you to run to the channel. Crypto Hulk's just here. Germany went bankrupt yesterday. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. And I'll be like, look, I've been telling you this for the longest time. Bad shit globally, it has to happen to bring in the crypto. It's not going to be a surprise on Crypto Hulk. Someone's saying, hey, Crypto Hulk, Brazil just went bankrupt. Okay, been telling you it's going to happen. Let me give you also a news flash. All that shit's going to happen like to the majority of the countries in the world. Now, maybe enough countries go bankrupt to where they leapfrog everybody going bankrupt. That's another option how this goes. I don't know how it all goes down. There will be enough countries that go bankrupt before they just decide to flip a switch. Everybody gets leapfrogged right to the future, okay? They all got their Ripple hookups, Stellar hookups, XDC hookups, and all these things. There will be countries that I think possibly won't even go bankrupt. What will happen is the majority, these strategically chosen countries will go bankrupt, and the rest of the world will be like, oh, damn. Yeah. It's going to create a lot of scary movie. And then somebody or somehow a government, World Economic Forum, whatever it is, will decide, you know what? Let's all move to a crypto system. And then it moves to that. Like, I don't know how all this stuff goes down, but you've got to crash the old system somehow. That's what we do know. We know the old system is going to crash. We don't know all the particulars, how this and that, how many countries. We don't know all this shit. Doesn't fucking matter. What I want you to understand is you have to crash the old system, or people have to be willing to leave the old system to start the new. So you can do it either way. It's kind of like you can force somebody to do something, right? Or they could just give up and be like, okay, I'll just do that. You got a couple ways on how this goes down. I don't know exactly how it goes down. I have to bribe Zoltar with some crack cocaine, and then probably he'll tell me at that point, okay? Before the show. Okay, welcome to the Crypto Hulk Show. We're going to get in some very interesting news today. First 5 people of the show, I'll give my disclaimer in a minute, is Crypto Greek, Das Man, Brian Edwards, Christoph, Popple. I'm not even going to say that name. Mr. K. And then Linda McKinney is here. My name's Crypto Hulk. Not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor at all. Just what I'd like to do is take requests on some shows. I'll take requests for cryptos you want me to look up, and I look them up and we talk about them. And if they're interesting, some people invest in them and some people don't. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto advisor. I'm none of the above. Don't listen to anything on this program for any kind of financial buying or selling or whatever. I just go over cryptos that I see that are interesting, and that's how the show goes. Everything on the show's a lie. Now I have here's my financial advisor right here. I keep him locked up in this box. This is the guy that I get financial advice from. It's a toy. Sorry. It's a toy, and that toy determines what I say on this program. Okay, so there's your financial advice. But yeah, what I like doing is, you know, wait, hold on. Maurice Monco, thank you very much for tax-free donation to the channel. Says it's going to be a ride for sure. Eager to connect. And then we got Tank Singh. Thank you very much for tax-free donation there. Let me look. Are you like a $500 member? Somehow, I've been told on my X account, people have sent me some messages and I don't get them. So be aware of that. Tank Singh, I need you to contact my Twitter. If not, I haven't heard from you, so I believe you're a member. I need you to contact me either on my Facebook. So let me tell you what that is, because I'm not getting any of your messages. So you might be sending me a message on X. I'm not getting any at all. And I don't happen to see, my X is not telling me my exact handle. I mean, my Facebook. So, damn, that's weird. Yeah, on my X, I can't tell you, on my Facebook, I can't tell you what my exact name is. That's weird, because it's not showing me. Like, if you look at X, like right below my picture, it says, but on Facebook, it's not showing me my exact name. So I do have a TikTok. Let's see. Now, if you go to TikTok, it's at Crypto Hulk, lowercase letters, one word, Crypto Hulk 2020. So, Tank Singh, if you have a TikTok, well, you should get a TikTok, because I can't get a hold of you. Whatever it is, get a hold of either Crypto She-Hulk or something to try to get a hold of me, because I can't get a hold of you. So let me get moving here. Oh dang. Dan, you're the man. Now, Dan is, I think, just a member as of right now. Well, I got a Dan on here, already a member. Thank you very much for that, donation there, tax free. I gotta look in. I'm gonna check something here. In the red zone. Okay, let's get started. Now here's our first article. Let me do a copy paste. All right. Now, there's a company that deals with cryptocurrency and some other things. Their name is Link2, Linqto. From what I'm reading on Business Wire, they're bankrupt. A lot of people on the internet invested money in crypto and stuff into this company. There's even crypto influencers on YouTube that are affiliates and promoted Link2 for years. Allegedly, here's what's going on. Allegedly, the company's been stealing from people. So there's lawsuits going on and federal investigations. I don't know if any of it's true or not. I honestly don't care. I've never bought anything from Link2. I hope you have not. But yeah, there's influencers out there in the crypto world, and they've been promoting this company, and it's going bankrupt according to Newswire. So what we're seeing is a lot of this stuff starting to happen. There's another company called PolySign. I believe they were working with Link2. They're also going bankrupt, and crypto influencers were also promoting Link2. So there's the second company that these crypto influencers were promoting. One of these crypto influencers, I remember it was about 2 to 3 years ago, was saying, yeah, Jack McDonald, I flew out to California. I'm not going to say who this influencer is, but there's a crypto influencer that was talking about that was promoting PolySign for at least 1 to 2 years. So the guy, Jack McDonald, that used to work for the now bankrupt or whatever, I don't know what's going on with Link2. The news is kind of inconclusive on did it go bankrupt or what happened, or we don't know what happened. So I'm stating that for the record. I don't know what happened to Link2. I presume they went bankrupt or something. From what I saw on the internet, it leaves it kind of like open to like they're insolvent, or I don't know. What I do know is that with Link2 and with PolySign, there were crypto influencers on YouTube promoting both of these companies, and they both went bankrupt allegedly, and allegedly people are going to lose millions of dollars, investors. I remember a couple years ago, one particular influencer saying, yeah, Jack McDonald, I flew out to California and there was a golf course and a winery I went to, and Link2, PolySign's just this awesome company, and you know, and they go bankrupt or whatever it is. I don't know. And then all the investors in there just kind of like lost all their money, or they can't get it, or I don't know. It's something where I just don't know. I want you to just notice these things. And, you know, I'll tell you what. I don't know what happened with this and kind of a thing. I'm glad I never put anything into that company. I'm glad they were never my sponsor or whatever. And same thing with the PolySign. You know, if you have a sponsor and something bad happens, okay, whatever. But then a second time, and then has there been a third time? Like, I don't know. I don't keep up with these things, but I already know twice. These crypto influencers, twice. Not just once, twice, at least. It could be 3, 4. I don't know if there's more. But the companies that they're representing, they just somehow either seem to get bankrupt, or are investigated by the Department of Justice for fraud, or it just goes on. And I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not making any determination whatsoever. All I know is that I'm sure glad I'm not mixed up with that crap. Okay. But yeah, so just be aware, these companies out there, and it's getting kind of hectic. Okay. Let's go to the next article. Seals Q. Okay. Copy. Let me do a copy paste. Now, Seals Q is a company. You can buy stock in America and I think Switzerland on this company. It's LAES. Commences global deployment of its GSMA accredited with telcos, integrating a post-quantum ready cryptographic security technology. Let's see what this is, because this is sounding very good. Now, I told you guys, I want to say 6 months ago or 5 months ago, something like that, we talked about Seals Q. And I told you it was like $2 per share. It's a company. It's not a crypto. Seals Q is a company, and they're linked in with WiseSat, and they have something called WiseKey, and they're hooked in with Hedera, which is partners of Ripple and Algorand. So this is massive. So Seals Q, the company, focuses on the hardware side of it. Okay, so HBAR, Algorand, Ripple is a software company. They are partnering, and they have been, with this company called Seals Q. It's a company that focuses on developing and selling semiconductors, PKI, and post-quantum technology hardware. Today announced that it has commenced with the deployment of GSMA accredited embedded. I think, isn't GSMA some kind of like cell phone or some kind of technology? I'm not exactly familiar with what this is, but I believe that Seals Q has now partnered with what they call GSMA accredited. It's a company called EUICC. This is something that's kind of above my pay grade, so I'm just letting you know. But anything that comes out with Seals Q, HBAR and stuff, I like to talk to you about. Let's see. This technology with Seals Q is now equipped to integrate post-quantum cryptographic security. Oh, okay. In the evolution of secure mobile and IoT communications. So look, it all comes down to like this. Everybody's got to have one of these. All right. Now, this is the hardware, but the software part of it, that's where the HBAR comes in with Kyber Crystal. And we're seeing a company here called Seals Q. They're integrating quantum proof. Now, this is good because eventually we're all going to have our crypto in here. It's like a wallet or whatever, all your bank apps, your bank phone apps and stuff. That's where this is going. They're starting to get everything quantum proofed. So, we may never have a quantum attack. I don't know. All is one. Seal HTS. Thanks, Hulk. Wild ride buying last night can get now. Thank you very much for the tax-free donation. So what we got is this technology from Seals Q and HBAR and all that stuff. We're enabling, it says here in a quote, by preparing post-quantum security for our GSMA accredited EUICC technology, we're enabling a new era of trusted, scalable, and future-proof connectivity, says Carlos Monrera. He's the CEO of Seals Q. This advancement meets today's security needs and prepares for future quantum threats, ensuring our customers stay ahead of emerging challenges. This is why I like, okay, if you're somebody that doesn't want to get crypto, maybe you got enough crypto, okay? Crypto Hulk, I want to get like some kind of stocks, okay? Like a real business, one that's regulated and all these things. I want to invest in a real company. Well, that's Seals Q. It's LAES. If you want to buy Seals Q, it's on Robinhood, maybe Webull or something like that. If you go to, I don't know, an investment company or whatever, you can buy Seals Q. It's like $2 a piece. I'm sorry, it's $4 a piece. When we started talking about it on this channel, it was $2. So this company, here's the thing, it's cheaper than XRP actually. So you can get this real stock, which is cheaper than XRP. I'm trying to figure out how to put this correctly. This company hasn't even taken off yet. It's at $2 each. The Swiss ROT ensures maximum trust and interoperability across the global mobile ecosystem, supporting secure identification and authentication of eSIM, paving the way for secure, remote, and scalable connectivity for consumer M2M and IoT devices. They're looking to phase out physical SIM cards. So I remember back in the old days, you could like get into your iPhone. I don't even know if my iPhone has a SIM card anymore. I don't think they do. I think they got rid of those. I think they did. There used to be a thing where you could like pull out the SIM card for your phone. That stuff's all gone. I think now they're using virtual SIM cards. This is where it looks like it's going here. Telcos are actively seeking to phase out physical SIM cards in favor of dynamic, remotely provisioned profiles. So what we are saying is this will become your digital ID. It'll have a wallet in there, all your crypto, your medical bills, your IDs of all kinds, all that stuff in that phone. I have a feeling there'll be like a chip option. If somebody wants to get a microchip injected into them, it'll be then you won't have to carry any wallet. You could travel. If you lose your wallet, it won't matter. Your hand or whatever, maybe your butt will have like a chip in it. And that's how I see that going in the future. Let me take a look really quick. They have an eSIM, electronic SIMs for newer phones. Okay. Let me take a look. Expanding into the space, telcos gain access. Through this partnership with Seals Q enables telcos to access WiseSat satellite communication. So now what we're seeing is Seals Q is integrating telephones and satellites, quantum resistant technology. This is where all this is going. These cryptos, HBAR, Kyber, the companies, WiseSat, Sealcoin, they have to prepare for this new quantum system to come in so that nobody gets hacked. That's how this goes, okay? So we're seeing it right here. One day when Sealcoin is like 1,000, Seals Q, one day when Seals Q is at like $1,000, you'd be like, damn, Crypto Hawk was talking about that when it was $2. Now, sometimes these companies go solvent, they go bankrupt. Maybe somebody buys out a Seals Q, or I don't know. But right now, we're seeing how all this is getting laid out, okay? Let me see. I think I will hold off on that. I just wanted to show you, like, they're each day, each week, something new with Seals Q, HBAR, Kyber, like something new comes out. So that's what I found with that article there. The next article here is going to be about the SEC, and Gary Gensler's gone. But I want you to see a little Christmas present the SEC is giving us. They're going to streamline this stuff really fast. Look at it. Look at right here. XRP news today. SEC advances a rule to cut spot crypto ETF time down. Let me read off the first sentence here so you can hear it. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission is advancing a comprehensive rule to expedite approvals for spot cryptocurrency ETFs. So they want to expedite, means speed up approvals for crypto ETFs, signaling a potential shift in regulatory approach. Listen what they're doing here. They're going to take a 240-day ETF. Normally it takes 240 days. So what is that, like 8 months? Normally, ETFs take 8 months to happen, okay? The SEC now is going to make it 75 days, 2 months. From 8 months to 2 months, okay? Who's going to benefit from this? Solana, XRP, and Dogecoin. This strategic move reflects the SEC's recognition of the growing demand for regulated crypto investment products and the need to provide clearer, more consistent guidelines for issuers. The new rule is expected to cover popular cryptos such as Solana, XRP, and Dogecoin. Let's see. They had a 12-page disclosure. The SEC issued a detailed 12-page disclosure guidelines. From what it appears, the SEC, this is a different SEC. The SEC now is posting guidelines and rules, whereas before they wouldn't do that. They would just bust you, like they'd sue you and take you to court. So this is very, very positive. What we see here, we got the SEC publishing clear guidelines showing companies how to apply and taking a 8-month ETF process down to like 2 months. Okay. So that's very positive right here. The SEC's move towards a universal rule. So the SEC used to always say, well, we can't quite talk about this case and all that's just blah, 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 blah kind of stuff, okay? They are having transparent, fast, streamlined process now. This is good. This is what things are going to start taking off real quick now. Here's why. This ETF 75-day thing is positive because now you're going to have 2 to 3, 8. You're going to have probably 3 to 4 times more cryptos hitting the market in ETFs. What does that mean? Institutions are now going to start dumping money into this thing. Okay. The more cryptos the SEC allows the more billions and billions of dollars that get poured into this. All right. So these are very, like, I like seeing this now. This new SEC director, Trump's pick, you're going to see all these cryptos jumping in right now, because before everybody was afraid, right? Gary Gensler would sue everybody, take everybody to court, but all that stuff's over. So let's look right here. Let's go to the next article. Wallets, crypto wallets. This is where all this goes. Actually, let me start with this. The title of my next article has to deal with Apple Wallet becoming accepted by government agencies. This is where all this goes. Cheney Lee gave 5 memberships. That is John Wright. John Wright got a membership by Cheney Lee. Street Life got a membership. Sazanley Canal got a membership. Let's see who else. Boy, that's... So we got J-Rod got a membership. Daniel Glass got a membership by Cheney Lee. Then John Wright, Street Life, that's 4. And then Saloni Canal, that's 5, got a membership by Cheney Lee. Okay, so what we got here, here's the title. It's official. You can travel the United States with just your iPhone thanks to the new Apple Wallet digital passport. So when we hear this title, I mean, it sounds like you're not going to have an actual passport anymore. You won't have to hold a driver's license, an ID card. It's looking like the way this is going is it's all going to be on a phone. That's why you got Seals Q and these different companies and HBAR and stuff trying to hook up quantum computing into telcos and the GSMA cell phone network. This is where all this is going. Now, this was all determined like about 10 years ago. Okay, here's the article for that. Let me show you. So what we got here is 21 top Bitcoin and digital currency companies endorse new digital framework for digital ID. We have an article on a Ripple page right here. You can go to the Ripple website. This is where this is from 2014. What we have is a new digital framework for digital ID. Now, this was 10 years ago. You got MIT, which is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's the college where Gary Gensler came from. He's probably going back to. At MIT, that's where the government, our government, has an outpost there at Stanford and all these other colleges. this is very important here because what we're seeing is you've got ID3, which is a very, very big name, okay, in digital ID. You got 21 crypto companies, including Ripple, working on a digital ID. Now, this article is pretty big. I've shown you it before. We haven't gone over the whole entire article. It would take, I don't know how long, about at least 30 minutes to go over this article. It's massive. What we got going on here, I'll just make it really short and we'll go back to the article. What we have is in 2014, Ripple and these other companies made a digital ID for the future. That's what this article is talking about right here. Talks about open data, like open banking and all these things. They knew 10 years ago where all this is going. Now, they didn't know exactly when. They didn't know exactly when and how all this would flow. They knew that eventually this would all come out, okay? And we're moving into that. So there's the article there. Now let me show you. Oh, let me let's look at this. I want to show you something. I want to show you back in 2014. See if I can find it. Right here. Okay. I want to show you a video. Let's go with. Okay, go to the 23-second mark. 23-second mark. Okay. What we got here is Ripple Labs. This is 2014. Ripple Labs, Meet the Team, Apple. Apple's the first one on this list, okay? I already showed you the 2014 Ripple page where it says a new digital ID for a digital identity. That was 2014 as well. Now, I'm going to show you the latest Apple, this article that's on Apple Wallet. And I want you to see how all this comes together. Hey, sometimes I don't even think the people at the top, they don't even know the date. Like, Crit Hulk, when is this going to happen? You know what? I don't think sometimes even the people at the top know the date that it's going to happen. It just kind of, they put something in place and then it just kind of happens when it does. But here's that article. It says, it's official. You can travel the United States with just your iPhone thanks to the new Apple Wallet digital passport. Let's hear this. It says, the U.S. Transportation Security Administration has announced, so the TSA, that's big. The TSA has announced new measures regarding passport security screening for travel. To comply with airport security regulations, until now, all travelers have been required to present a physical passport. However, Apple's latest update could change this dynamic. From autumn, with this launch of the new iOS 26 operating system, travelers have been required to present a physical passport. However, Apple's latest update could change this dynamic. Travelers will be able to carry their digital passport in the Apple Wallet application, thus promoting digital identification. This measure will be available only to those who have an iPhone like this. Otherwise, they will have to continue to carry their physical passport. Now, that's very interesting. But you see, that's where all this was going anyway, right? I showed you the 2014 article where Ripple and 20 other companies had a new digital ID and that kind of thing, okay? This was all planned out 10 years ago. So we're just looking at like, oh, here's the news, Apple. Then I showed you the Ripple Labs Meet the Team, okay? Ripple Labs Meet the Team. Apple's right there from day one. Now, there was a person from Apple there. Now, we don't know. See, with Ripple, here's how it's done. Everything's non-disclosure agreement, okay? You won't find evidence on certain things. So that's when you have to sometimes look at something and be like, well, now, see, what Ripple is, it's a government contractor, subcontractor. Justin Wheatley, welcome to the 2024 crypto explosion. So with Apple working with Ripple, with that Meet the Team video thing I showed you. So we already exposed on the Crypto Hulk show, I showed you guys, and then Ripple took it off their website. But Ripple used to advertise at the far deep down in their page that they were a government contractor, subcontractor. So I showed you that. And then like the next day, Ripple took it off their website. So we know that Ripple was a contractor, subcontractor for the United States government. Okay, we got that done. Now, how they work is people come and they go, and they come and they go at Ripple. Kind of like a temp agency. Whatever Ripple, as Ripple works through their process to get the whole world hooked up with cryptocurrency, people come and go for different projects. So that's how this was with Ripple Labs Meet the Team, is to start off Ripple. They brought in, and I showed you the list right here. Let's read off some of them. Apple, Boku, Elon, Fiserv, Flipboard, Goldman Sachs, Google, Jumio, Microsoft. Somebody from Microsoft was there. What I'm not saying is that there was an official membership, because you won't have that. That's called non-disclosure agreement. They won't put that out to the public. What we do have is a Ripple Labs page from 2014. We're looking at a Ripple Labs page from 2014, and they just happen to have somebody from Apple there, Goldman Sachs, Google, NASA, really? Space Administration? Explain that one, day one. This is like when Ripple first started. I call it the Ripple yearbook because there's pictures of all the people that used to work there. They got Microsoft, the New York Federal Reserve. Somebody from the New York Federal Reserve is there. Oh, somebody from the National, and I can't say security, and I can't say agency was there. Somebody from Square was there. Okay, so that's where we're going to with this Apple wallet you're looking at right here. This stuff was already planned out. So this is where all this will go. The technology will get even better. You're not going to be carrying around a passport anymore. They're going to get it to where, I don't know how, they got technologies that we don't even know of right now. I'm going to say the government has technologies that you and me are not aware of right now, that they're using. Maybe it's in testing phase. I have no doubt that in the future, either you get a microchip somewhere in your hand or wherever you want it, in the back of your neck. You're going to get some kind of a chip, or it's going to be in your phone, and it's going to have all kinds of verifiable information in it. I have no doubt that that's where this goes. We're seeing that right here. And when did this start? It looks like it started about 10 years ago with Ripple Labs Meet the Team. Okay, so we're seeing this TSA stuff here, and we're like, oh, wow, this is new. And no, it's been around for 10 years. We just haven't really heard of it, okay? So that's where that is. Let me check the comments, and we'll go to the next article here. So XRP Shaman says, they can scan our unique frequency. Jay says, "What's up, Hulk?" And then our Digi is like, sounds like the mark of the beast written in Revelations. Let's check here. You know, like that's where all this is going. I said when I started my channel 5 years ago, I'm like, look, I got good news and I got bad news. This is like May or June of 2020 is when I started this show. And I got good news and I got bad news. I said, I got the good news is I'm going to show you what I discovered in crypto. The bad news is I think all this is going to be used against us. What do we got here? Rob, keep fighting the good fight, Hulk. Right on. Thank you very much for that. It's like I knew where all this is going to end up. All this crypto, I knew right away this is going to end up controlling it. That's why when I talked about XYO crypto, I went over the other day, it was about 2 days ago, I went over XYO crypto. Someone says, Crypto Hulk, can you look it up? Okay, I looked up XYO and gave you guys a little rundown on what I found. And it was originally called XY Findables. Now I think it's called the XYO Network or whatever. But how did it start? Tracking. It started with tracking. They'd have these little, I want to call them not AirPods, but AirPods. They came out with it first. Apple came out with it after them. But the XYO company started tracking shit like in 2012. Years before Apple even thought about this shit. So, and then they became, they had crypto later. But when I bought into XYO, I think it was around 2017, and I bought into the company, not the crypto, because they hadn't developed a crypto yet. So I kind of got in pretty early in this company. But the whole point of the matter is, that's what I knew back in 2007. That kind of got my interest in crypto about 3 years before I started Crypto Hulk, was the XYO company that I bought 500 shares of. I saw that that company, and I looked into it. And I'm like, you know what? I think I know where this is going. I've used Bitcoin. I used to buy and trade things online, and I used to have to get Bitcoin to pay some people. And I'm kind of like, what is this Bitcoin thing? I didn't quite understand it. So nonetheless, I pay people in Bitcoin, not knowing what it was or whatever. And then, and now we're talking 2016. By 2017, I kind of had a feeling something about this crypto stuff. And then I heard about XYO. And I bought 500 shares of the company because I kind of knew in 2017, I kind of knew where this was going. You know, sometimes a little bit along the way, I've invested in different companies, and some companies make it and some don't. I mean, that's just how it goes. And this one, it's been around for like all these years. It just kind of hangs in there, doesn't go away. So it was only like $500 to me. So they're out of San Diego. So I'm like, it's in America. It's $500. I own 500 shares of the company. And I kind of see everything going that way, right? Tagging, tracking people and shit. So I invested in it. And that's why I got VeChain when I first bought crypto. Now we bump it up to 2020, right around May 2020. When I first bought crypto, I got XRP and VeChain because VeChain was a supply chain logistics crypto, and it tracks things. So that's, some people kind of want to know, why did I get XRP and VeChain? That's kind of a long story on why I got those two.
and you just hold. Sometimes, like VeChain, I've been waiting for VeChain to go above 2 cents for 5 years. It's just when it'll happen when it happens. So I'm not concerned. I'm not selling it off, whatever. I'm just some shit I just hold. You know, I didn't put in how much did I think I've spent like $500 or $1,000, something like that. In between 500 to $1,000 on VeChain back in the day, and it just sits on my wallet. That's all. You know, one of these days, if it takes off, great. If not, great. Like it doesn't. And we're back. So yeah, I guess they decided to shut me off. It's just about the hour anyway, but so that's what I'm seeing with this digital ID and Apple and all these. It's planned out super early, all this tracking and stuff. And that's why I've been like, I had the VeChain. It's just I kind of knew a lot of years ago like where this is going to end up, you know, and whether VeChain takes off or it doesn't, like it doesn't matter. That's why I've got like 15 different cryptos or something, because sometimes the company just takes forever to take off. I'm like, damn, man, what's going on? But that's just how it goes. And you move on and you learn about, and I learned about all the other different cryptos and stuff over the years. So that's just a little journey that we had. So then it takes us back to Ripple Singapore. You know, Ripple already had these wallets. We went over this. I've shown this video quite a bit. In 2014, we had Ripple Singapore. So they had gold and silver in your wallet, right? And all these things. It said that the wallet was conceptually able to do securities, commodities, and that kind of stuff. So we know that Ripple has a functioning wallet. All these Ripple customers have wallets. Now, one thing you will not hear Ripple talk about is their wallet, okay? And the interchangeability and how all this happens. This wallet came out around 2014. It had gold, silver, you can put in there, all kinds of stuff. So in the future, that's what we're going to see. Ripple's going to make an announcement. Oh, we've got this wallet, but guess what? It's not for retail. Ripple's, the XRP, you guys, you will not be buying and selling shit with XRP. That's not how it's designed. Can you do it? Yeah. But it's designed to be a bridge. So when people out there are like, oh, Ripple has this stable coin and they're not going to use the XRP anymore. No, look, the XRP is a bridge. It's not designed to be used as money. It's a bridge between you'd put it up and you'd use it for a bridge for a transaction you're going to make. It's not designed to be bought and sold and traded and spent. The reason it got loose to us, I think, is for testing purposes. I think even one of the Ripple executives said that like 10 years ago in a conference. Yeah, you can buy stuff with it. That's not its intent. And you won't see that in the future. People buy, I think the XRP will become like gold, like a Bitcoin, right? The XRP, that's what it's for, is to bridge a transaction. It's surety. It's trust. That XRP in a transaction as a bridge, no one worries because that money's there in case something ever happened to that transaction. That bridge could be used to pay that debt. It's like if you have gold. Okay, here's an example. In California, you're required to have auto insurance when you drive. So I'm giving you like a little example of like what XRP is, all right? Garrett B, there he is. Super busy this morning. Have to catch the show in a few, but wanted to hop in real quick and show some love. Right on for that. So here's like in California, you have to have auto insurance, okay? So now you have some options. You can go out and buy auto insurance, or you can do what's called, you can put a bond up. So now I don't know what the price is now. It's been a lot of years since I've worked law enforcement. It used to be like, I think $35,000. So you could literally have a bond and have it hooked up with the DMV, and that 35,000 would sit there as a bridge, you see? So let's say I'm driving around, and for 4 years, let's say if I don't have an accident or whatever it is, a year, whatever I want, if I don't have an accident, then I can go back to the DMV and say, hey, I need that money back. Okay, then the DMV gives me the money. That money's a bridge, you get it? So now if I were to get into an accident, then they would take that 35,000 to pay for my stuff. Now, if the accident was 100,000, well, then I'd be liable for the rest, and I'd have to go to court and get sued. But that's what like the XRP is. Like, yes, you can buy shit with it. Absolutely. Okay. Is that what it's designed to be? No. But I think they wanted to test it all these years, and it works flawlessly. So yeah, you can buy stuff with it. What is the intent? It's to bridge currencies. Actually, I'll tell you what, it's to bridge a transaction. Because in the future, you just won't have currency swap, and you'll have General Motors stock. Like you can move, let's say I got General Motors stock. It'll go through the Ripple liquidity hub and come out at the other end, whatever you want it. Okay, that's how I see. Because R3, XRP, all this stuff's going to be connected, and I don't know how the XRP liquidity hub works. I have no idea, but I know that XRP is the bridge. That's what we do know. In the short answer, it's the bridge. Just like in California, my $35,000 bond, which nowadays, I don't know, maybe it's 50 or 65,000, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's, you can put a bond in, so that's the bridge. And that's just what XRP is. And that's what it's going to make it the most valuable currency. Because with Bitcoin, you can't do any of that. It can't be it can't do anything at all. So let me wrap this show up. We're at about an hour and 2 minutes. And I've got a show. I got a show lined up for about 5 to 5:30. So today at about 5 or 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, we'll definitely have another program. There's a lot of real world news going on, a lot of acquisitions, like companies taking over other ones, and people are fighting to get into position. These banks, these investment companies, the investment companies are joining a bank. The bank is joining the fintech. Like all these things are happening. They're getting ready. And like I said, when I first started the show, you could have 100 exchanges, but in the end, you're going to have 10. And the reason you're going to have 10 is because regulation is going to squeeze out those crypto companies that aren't regulated by the laws. And the banks are going to come in, the investment houses are all going to come in, and your choices for buying crypto will be drastically limited. That's it. I'll see y'all in the next program.